Good morning, sports fans. It is Monday, March 16th, 2026. You're watching RateGame Live. My name is Dick Mark George. This is a sports show unlike any other because it's powered by you, the sports fans that watch and rate the games. Thank you for powering this show. Speaking of which, thank you for rating games. Road to 1 million. This is a segment we do every morning. It's how we get our day started here. We take a snapshot of the previous day, we do a little tally, and we say to ourselves, were the sports good? We ask a question and we have an answer. 41 games, 7 leagues in action yesterday with the World Baseball Classic, the English Premier League, Major League Soccer, adding that little rare trifecta that you don't really see this time of year. 7 leagues, 7. Be interesting to see for the rest of 2026 if we get to 8, 9. I know there's a couple of days on the sports calendar that we like to call the equinox when the engines are revving, but 7, folks, is a lot. So 7.3 out of 10. Were the sports good? Yes, they were. Moving right along because we got an action-packed show for you. So yesterday, Selection Sunday, when we find out who gets the ticket to the dance. And the most controversial in the show, I would say the segment that causes the most conversation is first 4 in, first 4 out. First 4 in, usually followed by the ones that didn't make it. And yesterday in particular, there was Bruce Pearl on the panel. He replaced Jay Wright. And if you watched the show before, you know that I was kind of railing against Bruce Pearl because he kind of slotted his son into the program. I had never heard of his son before. I didn't even know he was on the coaching staff. So his son takes over Auburn. Auburn has, by all intents and purposes, a very mediocre season. They finished, I believe, 2 games above 500. And there was a lot of speculation that little Stevie Pearl was going to ride daddy's coattails into the big dance, despite the mediocre, lackluster performance. Not the case. Auburn, one of the first 4 out, to the pleasant surprise of a lot of people in this experience, in this performance. So we have this thing on RateGame where you can rate things of this nature. What qualifies for an experience of performance? Well, Selection Sunday, obviously, because it's different every year, right? It's going to be first 4 in, first 4 out. It's going to be a different bracket every single year. That's what makes it so special. Same deal with the Super Bowl halftime. Same deal with the NBA All-Star weekend with the dunk contest, right? Things that we can watch year over year and assess the quality, the performance, the experience. Was it memorable? By and large, for this Selection Sunday, the committee got it right. An 8.3, 50 ratings. That's enough to tell me that we were, and this, myself included, right? I was very pleasantly surprised that Miami of Ohio is in, Auburn is out. Auburn of Alabama is not in the tournament. And the only thing that really confused me here, and I tweeted this from the, or I posted this, whatever you're calling it nowadays, from the official RateGame X account, was the Johnnies as a 5 seed after winning the Big East tournament and only losing, I would say, 1 game after starting 9-5. Don't quote me on that, but I think I saw that. Took a little picture of that on X somewhere. They're a 5 seed. So, and they beat UConn. They beat UConn at the Garden, back-to-back Big East champs, regular season Big East champs in the record, and they're a 5 seed. So maybe that's a sleeper for you. Maybe that's a little darling, a little Cinderella for your bracket. We'll check back in on that. Speaking of brackets, speaking of Selection Sunday, now that we have our brackets and we understand who's playing who, it's a perfect time to talk about the March Madness Pick'em Challenge, RateGame's first ever March Madness Pick'em Challenge. What you're looking at here is the board. And this is going to be kind of your home base. So this is the first time we're doing it. We want you to make picks. We want you to pick winners. If you pick winners, you get points. 1 win equals 1 point. You gotta pick all the games, 67 in all. The first 4 is coming at us tomorrow night. Kicks off at 6:40 p.m. Eastern. So here's the catch, folks. You just got to be on top of it. If you go into RateGame and you enable notifications, you set reminders, we'll help you out. We'll let you know when you need to make your next pick. We'll let you know if you got your last pick right. And this little handy dandy tracker will let you see how you stack up against everybody in the community. We're trying to get, I think what he said naively, 1,000 people to participate. Looking at the current state of affairs, we got 90 folks who picked the first game and 85 who picked the second. So 1/10 of the way to the goal. I'm looking at my producer and the final game. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. 1,000 for the final would be cool. But first year that we're doing it. And you can see here, so this is my little profile, right? And I have made some picks. Just for an example, I might switch these. I don't want to give you some insider information here. But in fact, let me click off of these so you can't read my picks here. But yeah, look at how simple this is, right? I'm just clicking the mouse, making my picks. You can see if you wanted to do some deep analysis, some research, you can actually click into the teams and it gives you like their current form. So how they perform the last 5, gives you a little write-up on the team, a little description. It's one of my favorite features, honestly, because I just love the layout. I love how each school has their own. You can see the top rated games down here. You can see the top fans. Yeah, you can just basically, go a little bit deeper and kind of get a feel that isn't really based on anything that you would see on like a traditional box score. You're really just going to more so get like a read from the fans, the people that watch the game. NC State actually is near and dear to our hearts because one of our power users, Landon, absolutely loves them. So I was very pleasantly surprised to see that they got in for the first 4 in. So 2 games on Tuesday. If you pick those 2, then you're set up for Wednesday. If you pick those 2, then you're set up for Thursday. That's when it really begins. That's when we have 16 games on Thursday, 16 games on Friday, another 8 on Saturday, another 8 on Sunday. When all is said and done and the dust settles on Sunday night, we're going to have picked 52 games, folks. So strap in. It's going to be awesome. Very excited. RateGame's first annual Pick'em Challenge. Awesome. Moving right along. And we now get into the games themselves. So yesterday, before Selection Sunday, we had the final little last gasp of the conference tournaments. We had the Big Ten Championship, which Purdue upset Michigan. Didn't affect Michigan's seeding, though. They're still a number 1 seed. And we had the Ivy League Championship with Penn versus Princeton. And here's how it went down. I need the thing. Oh, I don't. I'm sorry. I don't need the thing, guys. Sorry. It's okay. It's all right. We're working on it. Okay, here we go.
It's got to be a 3 for the Quakers. Down 3 with 5.9. Power catches. Power shot is good! He hit it! 1 second. Mullen heave. That one
Oh my God.
A back iron.
Oh my goodness.
Power hits the shot. He's got 40.
40.
And this championship game is going to overtime.
So that was your number 1 rated game in the last 24 hours. Your browser has lost connection to your screenshot audio. Okay. Did you see that too? Yeah. Interesting. So they're saying, folks, that no one Quaker should have all that power. And that is TJ Power Of course, 40 points. Penn beats Yale. They go on to the dance. They win the Ivy League. That's your number one rating game, 9.1. An absolutely epic performance from TJ Power from UPenn. We'll see him in the dance. Keep an eye out for him. He's a bucket getter. Let's see some takes. TJ Power takeover, damn near 50 burger. TJ Power for White Boy of the Year. What a game to send UPenn dancing. I think they'll pull off the upset in Illinois. Interesting, Jack. We'll check back on that. Holy cinema, says on Drizzle. What a back and forth game, which ultimately ended in a bit of a surprise. Okay. Interesting. TJ Power is a March legend. Goated. Nice. Giving him all the flowers. We got to move on, folks. I'm getting the high sign. Producer. Okay. She's just giving me the signal. Got it. Okay, sorry. All right. So next up, we have the World Baseball Classic. Oh my goodness. So we played the DR last night, and we will see here the final pitch of this game, which ended in controversy. All right, now let's tee this up right here. All right, so as you can see here, this is our little strike zone provided by the World Baseball Classic. That last pitch, number 8, is what ended the game. And so you had the ump in the semifinal of the World Baseball Classic, a human, make that call and end the game, which, you know, when I saw it live, I kind of gasped because I knew right away that was not the right call. And so instead of having Fernando Tatis at the plate with 2 on, with 2 out in the bottom of the 9th, and Mason Miller on the mound, you have U.S. advancing to the final, 3rd straight time that we've done that in the World Baseball Classic, which is definitely impressive and definitely deserving. I will say last night, the first time I saw some raw emotion and heart out of this USA team, I saw Bryce Harper getting into it. He was jawing at first base. Bobby Witt and Bryce Harper, by the way, have an incredible connection going on. Bobby Witt with the web gem, Bryce Harper with the stickum at first. They're just playing pitch and catch out there, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I loved Bryce getting a little animated every time he was making those outs after Bobby, you know, seemingly had a gold glove play every inning. And then you had Julio Rodriguez. It was just an incredible game. So let's actually go see what it was rated. Because outside of Yale and outside of UPenn, this was absolutely up there. So 8.3 right now. 116 people rated this one. Oh, wow. We have a trivia that was submitted about poor Perdomo, the last batter, the guy who actually got that called strike 3. And so, yeah, I think the lead in here was, does the WBC need ABS? And by and large, I think the answer is yes. So what is ABS? For those who don't know, it stands for automated balls and strikes. It's basically a robot or a system of lasers that is able to determine each pitch in accordance with the strike zone for each batter. So for somebody like Perdomo, who's a little bit smaller, you know, the strike zone changes. And that's what I think makes the human umpire's job so tough, is every batter that gets up is obviously a different size. And so the strike zone shouldn't change, but you're like, as a human, you're kind of biased to try and recalibrate. And so that's why I think that pitch last night gets the strike call, because Perdomo's not the tallest guy. And you know, it's a long game. Like he's only human. And you'd be surprised how accurate these guys usually are. These home plate umpires are usually incredible at calling balls and strikes to within like, you know, 95, 96% accuracy. So it's a shame that it ended like that. But and you know, in the takes here, No More Fielders, one of our creators, absolute baseball knower, I would say. He has a video out right now where he watched every single Rockies game of last year. And it's a 2-hour video on YouTube. And he rated all of them on RateGame, by the way. It's an incredible use case for RateGame. You should definitely check out the video. But anyway, possibly the greatest collection of talent we'll ever see face off in a meaningful game, only for it to end on that call. And it increased my rating after getting second thought. All right, fair enough. I appreciate that. Zach says a game this great should not have ended with a call that awful. And perhaps that is the best way to sum it up for you. So who knows? All I know is that U.S. is in the final, and tonight we have Italy versus Venezuela at 8 p.m. on FS1. We'll see who we're playing tomorrow night in the final, and that should be a good one. The closer for us today on this Monday is our Oscars pick'em. So myself and the executive producer here I went 5 for 6. The only one I got wrong was Best Actor. Shout out Michael B. Jordan. Not my cup of tea, Sinners, the musical, but apparently the Academy loved it. And you went 3 for 6, but took some risks with Rose Byrne. I think that was it was an emotional choice. Yes. So that's all we got for you today, folks. We're going to close out the show. Have a wonderful day. Birthday week for RateGame. Start of March Madness. Firing on all cylinders here. My name is Nick Mark George. It's a beautiful day to rate some games. I will see you